Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, this is BestInSlot and we are back with a little bit more speculation about Jurassic World 2, and this is because of some exciting new images that came out recently and some comments from the directors and stuff like that. I'm going to bring up the first image pretty quickly. We're going to talk about how this could potentially link with things we've already talked about in the past about Jurassic World 2. Now, before we get properly started, I want to say thank you again to Jurassic Outpost. That's where I personally get my news and kind of use that as a leap board to start these videos. If you want to keep up to date with Jurassic Park stuff, I recommend Jurassic Outpost. You check it out. They aren't telling me to say this or anything, I just think it's a good site and it deserves a little bit more love. So, I'm going to bring up the first images too. I want to thank Curvy Camera on Instagram for these images, and this is of Licensing Expo 2017. And there's two main aspects we're going to cover in this video. The first thing is this new banner you'll see at the top saying Life Finds a Way. Now, some people have suggested that this is potentially the tagline for Jurassic World 2. So Jurassic World 2 Life Finds a Way would be the title of the film. I don't personally think that's where it's going to go. I don't think it's got quite the marketing punch that an executive would probably want, and that, let's be honest, they're the people who are going to come up with this kind of thing. Colin Trevorrow said at some point that the tagline hasn't been revealed yet because it would spoil an aspect of the Jurassic World 2 story. Now, that means this could potentially be it. He said this before this image came out, because Life Finds a Way would have potentially spoiled the fact that Ian Malcolm is going to be in Jurassic World 2. We know Life Finds a Way was his big famous quote from the first film, probably the best known quote in Jurassic Park franchise history, Life Finds a Way. If you saw that as the tagline for Jurassic World 2, maybe you would start to think, hey, maybe Ian Malcolm is going to be coming back. However, that doesn't seem like enough of a spoiler to me, and I'm not convinced that is a good enough tagline for a marketing executive. I'm not saying it's a bad tagline myself, I'm just saying I don't think that is the direction they would go in. So, minor details on that, but the main thing I'm going to focus on, I'm going to bring up an image. You can see these posters in the first image. If we bring them up again in the second image, this is much better detail, and again thanks to Curvy Camera for this. You'll see all these promo images. Now, these did come from the first Jurassic World film. I don't actually recognise the first and the third, but the second one with the Mosasaurus is obviously a very famous Jurassic World promo image, and the fourth one with Chris Pratt, again I believe he's usually next to a raptor on that one, is again a very famous promo image from the first film. They have, however, been tweaked. You can see these embers and fire and these kind of mountainous backgrounds, dark skies and stuff. They've been photoshopped to blend in more with what we think Jurassic World 2 might be about. Now, it's long been rumoured Jurassic World 2 could have a volcano as a prominent aspect of the film, and actually back in December 2016 Universal Pictures registered two new domain names. They registered allcreatureshaverights.com, which would obviously very much tie into what we've talked about recently, in that we're going to have like a PETA kind of group for dinosaurs. A lot of the film's going to be dinosaur rights, animal right groups, blah 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 blah. And they registered a second domain called Isla Nublar rescuemission.com. Now, this is much more exciting. This one I think is going to be a fairly major plot point. We can assume from that, if this isn't a red herring, if this isn't just Universal trying to throw us off the scent of the plot basically, we can maybe assume that a rescue mission to Isla Nublar is going to be a prominent feature of the film. And I don't think that would be a rescue mission for humans. I'm thinking a rescue mission for dinosaurs. That would tie in with the dinosaur rights group's kind of philosophy, right? We've got these dinosaurs that are going to die on this island. Go and save them. Do we go save them? Do we leave them there? Do we let life do its own thing? You know, that could be a whole moral quandary. Now, there's two ways they could go. We'll go back to these fire images. Some people have suggested a volcano. Some people have suggested that InGen is going to firebomb the island. Personally, I'm very much hoping and suspecting that they will actually go with the latter. The idea of a big-ass volcano on the island exploding and magma everywhere and this big dramatic thing is a really cool image. It really, really is. And it would actually, I think, tie in a little bit with what we saw the other day, the filming footage with the helicopter and the ladder, and maybe, you know, there's magma underneath Chris Pratt and he's climbing up the ladder as the helicopter flies away to get away from this tidal wave of magma soaring underneath him. Let's assume the volcano doesn't know what it's doing. The volcano is just kind of exploding because it's very excited. That's very different from InGen saying, we're going to firebomb the island, we're going to kill the dinosaurs. That's a very different line to take, and I think tying the firebombing in with the animal rights and people protesting InGen and you can't do this, you can't do this, and then maybe Chris Pratt and Bryce Dallas Howard and blah blah blah, they put together a little squad to go back to the island to try to rescue the dinosaurs or rescue some embryos or something like that. I'm going to predict and speculate that that is going to be the bulk of the plot. Now, the only problem I have with this as a theory compared to the Volcano is that we know a child called Lucy is going to be a prominent feature of the film. She's going to be one of the main characters. We already saw it. The very first image we ever got for Jurassic World 2 featured Lucy right at the centre of it. So we know she's going to be important. And I can't think of a way you'd get her to an island that you know is going to be firebombed. Unless she gets trapped on the island pre-firebombing. But then why would anyone be on the island in the first place after what happened in Jurassic World? So that is kind of a spanner in the works. But I think the idea of the island just getting bombed out by InGen is much more exciting. I love the idea of basically what would be like a second extinction for the dinosaurs. Is this life going back to how it should be? Some people will argue that, you know, dinosaurs were selected for extinction, according to Ian Malcolm. So maybe he would actually be on that side, you know? The dinosaurs were already selected for extinction. Maybe InGen is just doing it again, basically setting right the course of nature. Or maybe InGen are all bad people. You know, there's some good stuff there. There's some good stuff. I'm really hopeful that's the direction they're going to take. And I think we can assume either volcanoes or a firebombing of some form based on these images. Otherwise, this is a major red herring. Because why would you edit the images to add sparks and flames and dark skies and all that kind of jazz? It'd be very interesting as well, like a juxtaposition between how the dinosaurs naturally went extinct with the comet and the skies would darken and there would have been fire, there would have been volcanic eruptions, blah blah blah, and now the same kind of environmental effects, the same kind of look, but man-made. You could do something there as well. Let me know in the comments down below what you think this means. How excited are you for Jurassic World 2? Are there any plot points you guys really hope they hit? We know it's going to be a darker film. We know it's going to tackle some more complex themes, which again is another reason I'm tempted to go with this man-made catastrophe over there's a volcano, it's going to kill some dinosaurs, let's go save them, which isn't quite the moral quandary I think the film is going to aim for. But we shall see. Speculate wildly down below. Let me know what you guys think, and I shall see you lovely folks in the next episode. Cheers, much love, and as always, bye-bye.